to do a better house cleaning on the house than what I normally do, and it helps her out a little bit, gets her a little bit of income, and anyway, I might have to stop when she gets here. I don't know because she probably won't want to be on the camera, or I'll just keep it on me. But anyway, I'm just putzing around the house here, doing little things, doing what I do. Right now, I'm getting ready to go out here and hang out some towels that I put in the laundry, and basically, I use them on the floor, kind of like as throw rugs, because the Colonel, I slip easy. If the floor is a little bit wet and I'm not paying attention, sometimes I go for a ride, and with my bad knees the way it is, it's painful, and I don't, I'm just not into doing it. See my fancy curtains here? Yeah, yeah, folks. When you're frugal like I am, and you don't feel like putting up fancy schmancy curtains, and you need some privacy, you put up. This is weed cloth from the garden that I've been carrying around with me since my Thailand days, and it comes in handy. And sometimes it comes in handy to give you some privacy, and that's what I use it for. So I'm going to come out here on my dirty front porch here. It's where I got my laundry. Well, there's the old multi-cab in the back there. But got my laundry machine out here, and because I live in the concrete jungle, you know. For right now, I don't really like it here, but it's just where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna hang up these towels. Henry Broussard, I'm just doing it, man. I thought I'd go live while I'm doing my daily routine here. Gino and James and Karen and them, they lost their live stream. And see, I unplugged my machine when I'm not using it so that we don't have any accidental touchings on the control pad, and turn it on by mistake. Lone Star White saying howdy, nice multi-cab. Yeah, well, we're not doing the multi-cab video yet. It's not ready to, I don't have space, really, to do it right. Because you got to get back from a distance to get the whole thing. So I'm hanging up my towels here I use as throw rugs. Don't mind me. We're just going to this is what we call real live streaming here, folks. We're not sitting down trying to do a production. We're just doing everyday life for the Colonel, because, just like you, I'm a normal person. I got to do stuff too. I got to clean my house. I got to do my laundry. I got to cook if I don't want to go out to eat. There's Commander. Good morning, Colonel. Thank you. Good morning. Whoa. Look at that. I got to watch where I'm going. I'm old. And Dennis Wisher, why you got a question mark after hi? You don't want to say hi, or you... I don't get that. Usually you put an exclamation point or a period after hi, not a question mark. That makes me think you don't really want to say hi. But you're welcome to come to the channel. And it's all good. I can be a jerk sometimes, and I can be hard to get along with, but generally I'm a nice guy. It's all good. So how are you all doing? And maybe I got energy because I had my coffee already. But I was watching Gino on the Dazzle TV, and he lost his internet there. And then I hopped over to James and Karen because I'd seen them earlier also, and they lost theirs too. So I'm going to do mine until I lose mine. We'll see what happens. And yeah, this is this little house I live in. So they were talking something, Gino, they were talking about that, about places to live and condos and stuff. And for me, I have a lot of tools, and I build things, and I do different stuff, and so I need more space. So I like to tell people, when they come to the Philippines, they think they got to live in a condo and rent a condo. And most of the condos, I'm sorry, for me, I consider them expensive. But if that's what you're used to, that's what you want to do, you go right ahead and do it. For me, I'd rather spend a little bit of time. I could do it up on the roof there and see. You spend a little bit of time, find a place, get somebody to help you too. And I found this little house. I'm not totally happy here, but for right now, it's okay until I get in a situation that I like better. And I live in a part of Iloilo City. And I'm not right downtown in the city, but I'm in one of the areas of Iloilo City. And I kind of keep that to myself. If I meet you in person, I'll tell you where I live probably. But other than that, I don't believe you have to put everything out on YouTube about where you're at. 'Cause lo and behold, sometimes people will show up at your house, and you may not want them there. So sometimes it's good to keep things private a little bit. Hey, Lowell's up there in Oregon. He comes in here. I appreciate you, Lowell. And I know you're still looking hard, trying to figure out your medication situation and whatnot. And trying to get over here. And, you know, if it's the Lord's will, you'll get over here, Lowell. That's all I can say on that. There's Vegas, Will. How's things in Vegas there, Will? He says hello. And he said hello to everybody, not just me. And Lone Star, you stupid fly. No, condos are horrible, too small. We own a house in Kalibo, and we'll be building another house near Cataclan. Yeah, I tell you what, there, Lone Star. I tried condo living when I first went to Thailand, and it just didn't work for me. It's too, it was nice, little condo. It really was. I had a laundry machine on the balcony and everything. But the problem was, for me, was just like what you said. It's too small. I felt like I was living in a shoebox. And I told myself when I retired, branch out, do things different than what I was used to, get out of my comfort zone. I mean, shoot, I was in Thailand. I was definitely out of my comfort zone. So there's that. I did that, and I sold everything I owned. I was outside my comfort zone, too. I like my toys and my tools. Sometimes my tools are my toys. And so I was outside my comfort zone, but I was in that condo, and it got too small real quick. Even though I had everything I needed, had a little kitchen, had a CR, what do we call CRs in Thailand? I can't remember what. There's the Thai word. I can't remember it now. It'll come to me later. But anyway, I got tired of the condo. Then I moved into a row home, one-story row home. Had nothing in it. Had to set up, had to make a kitchen in there and everything. And then I found where I wanted to live, which was down in Rawai, down at the southernmost point on Phuket Island, and I rented a house, little small 2-bedroom house, and I loved it. So anywhere I go, everybody's like, "Oh, why don't you live in a condo?" Well, because I have too many things. Just to give you an idea why I need space, because I got stuff like this. See that? Most people don't have that, okay? Most people don't have stuff like that. Most people don't have tools like I have. I'm the tool man. And pretty much, if you need a tool, I might probably have it, or I might not have it. And my lady who cleans my house, she's gonna be happy to see that I finally got a little stand to put my shoes on instead of having them all over the floor. And but usually, folks, really, I clean my own house normally because I'm frugal, and or some people would say cheap. Depends how you look at it. And let me see what my battery. Okay, I'm doing all right. So anyway, I was just sitting here. I posted 2 little short videos about these little Tamiya cars now, and because I'm going to add that to my channel just for kicks. I'm not racing them yet, but I'm going to race against myself. I don't know that I'm going to get into the races with the competition, but I have fun with these little cars, and I go through phases in life where I'll do one hobby. I got the adult ADD. Let's just be honest. If I had just focused on one hobby my whole life, I probably might be further along in that hobby. But my problem is I'm interested in so many different things, and because of that, I jump from one thing to another. So I'll do these Tamiya cars for a little bit, then I'll stop. Then I'll go do. I'll build something out of wood and weld some stuff together out of steel, and maybe one day if I ever paint that, I'll show you some of the little tables that I've made. And what I used to make everything out of wood. Now what I do, because it's just easier, even in Thailand over here, wood is not, it's available, but it's not like in the U.S. And so what I do now is I make the frames and the table legs out of steel. And I taught myself how to weld. I don't know how to weld, but I taught myself. And now I know how to weld up, but I'm not going to sit there and say I'm a good welder, because I'm not. I'm not on the caliber of, say, like Bellas. He tells me he's like professional welder and everything, but I have yet to see him do it. He talks a lot of stuff, but I ain't seen him do it yet. I'm just digging at you there, brother. If you see it. But anyway, he always has an excuse. I need gas. I need argon. Okay, well, go get it, man. Let me see what you got, man. Let me see your welding. Because my welding sucks. I ain't gonna lie. But I do it. And hey, as long as you got a high speed a grinder, I can make even my welds look good with the grinder. So anyway, I might do that. I need to paint them though, and make it look a little more professional. But I do a little bit of everything. So I jump around from one hobby to another. Maybe you're the same way. Maybe you're not. And you know what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. You do you. Hey, Norm. He says, hey, Colonel. Vegas Wolf is getting warm. 90 degrees already. Wow. Yeah. Welcome to the Philippines, man. It's like here every day. James and Karen showed a Kubo builder near Kalibo. That same builder is who built our 2-bedroom Kubo. We love it. Yeah, Lone Star. Yeah, they were up there in the Ackland area. But, right here in near Haro, there's a guy building Kubos over there, and he's actually cutting lumber and putting sideboards on it. So it looks like a little cottage from the U.S. Coolest thing I ever seen over here in Southeast Asia. I'm like, this guy's building Kubos. He's not doing it out of bamboo. Well, he's building frames and stuff out of bamboo, but he's cutting lumber and making, clapboard siding on the house. I told him I need to go over there and actually ask the guy let me film a whole thing of it. I just took a couple photos when I was over there, but I need to go over there and vlog that really. If he's still doing it, I think they are. I don't know, but they're not that expensive. Just for a couple $1,000s. I mean, it's really not that expensive. Less than a couple $1,000s. And then you got an instant house. Now it's not going to be concrete, and you have to do some stuff. And if you want to have air conditioning, you should seal it up. But I was impressed with it. So when I saw them doing that, I was like, yeah, I've seen that before. And some of these Kubos are nice. These guys that are building with the bamboo, and I consider myself a woodworker and whatnot, but these guys put me to shame. And I'm not going to lie to you, working with bamboo to do it right, it's not always the easiest thing because I've tried to do it. And you got to bamboo is its own little unique thing. And if you have that skill, it's an amazing skill. And I'll give you a classic example of that. I have some things from Thailand that an older gentleman made for me, and he's passed away, unfortunately. But his family took care of me for a little while over there. But check this out. This is all dusty and all, but look at this. Okay? That's made out of bamboo. And some of you might be asking, what in the world is that? Some of you might know what that is. If you know what that is, put it in the comments. I'll let it ride for a little bit before I tell you. Maybe somebody will figure it out. But I've got 3 of these, and they're all different sizes. That's the biggest one. And, yeah. So anyway, I'll let you guys think about what that is. And then I'll tell you what it is. Yeah, hey, Norm, I got you there. Commander says, you have a house with some land, only way to go. Yeah, if you have the ability to do it. Like for me, I'm not in a position to do that right now because I don't have a Filipina with me. I'm still living alone. And that could change. It could have already changed if I wanted it to, but I'm just real picky, unfortunately. Just on the vulnerable side of me. I've been hurt a lot, been lied to a lot, been cheated on. So I'm just real careful. I don't trust these women, and I trust them as much as they help me to trust them. You know what I mean? And that's not criticizing. It's just the way it is. It's like that in any country. I'm not just talking about Filipinos. I'm talking about women in general. Please don't take that the wrong way. Let's see. Went through the hair. Hello from Athens. Wow. Is that Athens like in Greece, or is that Athens like in Athens, Georgia? Welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you before, so thank you. But hit the thumbs up if you haven't. Helps the algorithm. Lone Star says just varnish it every 6 to 8 months and it stays like new. Yeah, you got to protect the bamboo and stuff over it. It'd be even better if they would soak the stuff in a borax solution. Then you're good to go. But yeah, you got to protect any type of wood over here. Derek says aloha, friend in Hawaii. Awesome. I know the weather's got to be beautiful there. But nice to see you. Norm says, shouldn't be long before the multi-cab is on the road. Yeah, Norm, I figure another month. I got to wait on the paperwork. And And folks, honestly, the reason I haven't done a video on the multi-cab yet is because, and I have some footage from before that I might put together if I sit down and force myself to do it. But for right now, I got dust on my shirt from that bamboo thing I showed you. But yeah, right now I don't have the space here at my house to film it properly. And when I do it, I want to do it right. You know, I don't want to. Yeah, it's too narrow where I have it parked. I mean, I can barely walk between the wall and the vehicle itself. But yeah, we're getting there. So just be patient, folks. Multi-cab video will be coming probably in a month or so. Vegas Will says, "Yes, sir. Be careful. Conos are big. Yeah, us conos are big targets. I'm short, but I'm wide." Derek says, "Not lately. Lots of rain." No, that's not good. Lone Star says, "Vegas Will correct." Yeah, generally speaking, you're a target, but what I say to that is, don't allow yourself to be that target. Yes, we are targets, but once people realize that, hey, you're not the target that they thought you were, things can change. So, yeah, I'm not using my gimbal here, folks, so it's kind of a weird angle. But I thought I had it propped up. I still got a little bit of coffee. I really wasn't ready for this live because I was just walking around and the spirit hit me. I'm like, let's go live. I really wasn't ready for it. But I'm just going to sit here and talk and respond and come up with different stuff. You guys got a question? And yeah, I'm working on a new one. These are the little wheels. This is the chassis on this new car I'm working on. I don't know what's going on. I just decided I'm going to start building these little cars again. And I got a bunch of them that aren't built. Because I bought them for during the rainy season. When it's raining and I'm not going anywhere and I just feel stuck in the house, then I got something to do, something else to do. Because I got books to read. I got my Bible down there to read. I got stuff to do. I like to cook, and I made something yesterday similar to what I made before. This Mexican type stuff that I make, meat with the corn in it and the black beans. But like a dummy, because I was lazy. I didn't rinse off these beans, and they said right on the pouch there, salted black beans. I'm here to tell you folks, if you ever put those salted black beans, you better rinse them suckers off, because it made what I made so salty, it's almost unedible. So today I'm going to cook some more of the ground up pork. I'm going to put it in there and see if we can't spread that salt out over some more and put it down to where it tastes a little bit better. It doesn't make me have to drink water the rest of the day. And the other thing, when I was looking at that, putting it away in the fridge, I realized I forgot to put the jalapenos in it, and I finally found some sour cream. I couldn't believe it. I found some sour cream at SM hypermarket, or the supermarket there at SM, and a little container of sour, because I wanted to put sour cream on it when I ate it, and I forgot. It's the way it is when when you're living the life of the Colonel. Forgetfulness is a reality. That's not something that's not real. That's a reality. Wow, it's not a good angle. And you can see all the teeth I'm missing when I'm talking there. That's okay. I'm from West Virginia originally, folks, and they didn't put fluoride in the water, which ain't necessarily a good thing, but my teeth are West Virginia teeth, and they break so easy and they're so brittle. Someday, if I live long enough, yeah, dentures are probably going to be in my future. That sucks, but that's just the way it is. Yeah, Commander. Thank you. Appreciate it. JP says, "Hey, Major." Yeah, don't get him started, JP, though. I'll have that guy Terry in here. "Oh, that's stolen valor. You call yourself the Colonel, you're not a Colonel." I'm just like, give me a break. So, what a doofus. But anyway, it's all good. Appreciated the comment, because, the comments help the channel. It's all good. Hey, David. Good morning, Colonel. I decided to go to Cebu at the end of April to get my SRRV done. Thanks for recommending it. I didn't even know they had a PRA there. Yeah, David, and I use C&G Consulting. You can do it however you want to do it. You can do it yourself even if you want to. But I went through, because I saved up the money, and I had some extra money, and I just decided, you know what? I'm going to pay C&G Consulting, let them handle everything, and make sure all my paperwork's good, and they know the people at PRA know them, immigrant, whatever, But they were great. It wasn't cheap. I think their consulting fee was whatever it was. I paid close to 700 or 700 some bucks. I don't know. It's a lot of money. But all I had to do was I show up in Cebu. I get a room at the hotel. Was it Summit Galleria at the Galleria Robinson Galleria Mall? C&G's up on the fourth floor. I sleep. I get up in the morning. I go up to the office of C&G. I talk to Heidi and her crew, and I only talked to Heidi one time. Pretty much Jeff and them, they handled everything else. And they drove me around to do the physical part, the health exam I had to do, and they took me to the police station, and yeah, it was just, and they paid the taxi, I didn't. Now, I took Jeff out to Peter, took Peter out to eat, just as a thank you for him, and it just creates goodwill amongst people, and so I hope it works out for you, man. Now I will tell you this: it took longer than I expected. I wanted, but I had a lot. Their excuse with PRA was, oh, it was the holidays over Easter and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I still think it shouldn't have taken that long. But what are you gonna do? But I got the SRV, and I tell you what, it's great. I'm already coming up soon in a few months. I'm gonna have to pay my renewal. My $10 or whatever it is to renew that thing, because I have the SRV expanded courtesy, which, folks, if you're ex-military, you just can't beat that visa. I haven't seen a visa over here in the Philippines that's better than that SRV. And those of you that have 13A or whatever the marriage one is, I'm sorry, SRV is, in my opinion, is still a better visa if you look at all the perks that come with the SRV. Now, the one big difference, and I'm not getting into the visa thing, but the one big difference is, you can apply for permanent residency with your marriage visa, but with the SRV, hey, you're like a permanent resident. What's the difference? And I haven't paid yet when I've left the country. When you got that 13A, you got to pay, and I haven't had to. So anyway, let's see. That's my spiel on the visas. I had the tourist visa, and I did all that. But when the Chinese, and excuse me for saying that, but it's just the way it is, when those Chinese criminals messed up the renewing of the tourist visa, where you couldn't get 6 months anymore, the colonel was upset about that. It ticked me off, because that means I had to make more trips over to Batangas City, which was always a fun day. But I had to ride that Supreme bus. Anybody that's ridden a Supreme bus, well, and if you know, you know. And I just leave it at that. JP says, major pain in my, okay. And Lowell says, if I get what I need for a house and cut food to 10K and eat out 5K and get 5% consistent on money market with no bumps, I think I can possibly make it. Really need a little more for buffer, only towards visa. Yeah, Lowell, honestly, yeah, if you could find... Now, please, folks, don't take this the wrong way, okay? But I'm just speaking from my experience in Thailand and whatnot. But, Lowell, if you can find a woman that would take care of you and cook for you and whatnot, now I know probably would have to pay, but I'm saying if you were in some type of relationship where you didn't have to pay, okay? And I'm not saying that would happen or that it could, but I'm not going to say it couldn't happen either. In Thailand, I was in a situation. I lost 26 kilos when I first went to Thailand, because my girlfriend at the time, she was cooking for me. And I was walking a lot also, getting a lot of exercise. But because I was eating what she was cooking me, and then at lunch I was just eating a little thing of pad thai from the street vendor, I lost a lot of weight, and I saved a lot of money. Now, financially, I'm a lot better off now than I was back then. But it's possible, man. It really is. You can eat it inexpensively. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, folks. I budget more money than that, and I budget myself to give me a buffer about 1,000 pesos a day. That's if I spend 1,000 or less pesos a day, that's 31,000 pesos a month. I'm good to go. And that's eating real well, and that's eating out. Now, if I'm cooking at the house, now granted, I got to go buy groceries, and when you initially buy those groceries, and if you get everything that you need, you're going to spend more. Now, this isn't my budget video, so not another. But I keep saying I'm going to do that. Maybe someday I will. But it's doable, Lowell. You just but you're right. You need a buffer. It's just a renewal, 500 pesos. Yeah, the renewals are for the expanded courtesy. SRV is nothing, and that's why I tell folks, if you're ex-military, that is the way to go. Now the normal SRV and whatnot, it's quite a bit more money than that to renew, and I'm thankful. Thank you, Lord. Thankful that they've given me the privilege of having that expanded courtesy. So my time in the U.S. Army finally paying off in life. My body's paying for it too, but there are some perks, and I'm appreciative of the blessings from it. So all that abuse, physical abuse from being in the Army and whatnot in the U.S., it's finally paying off. I think maybe, I don't know. It's all perspective, folks. Coming in, Bayan privilege. Derek, if that works for you, man, do it. Gino talks about that all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think you get that for a year. And hey, why not? I didn't even know about that until I heard Gino talking about it. And but if you got that and you get the Bayan privilege, absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with any of them. There's nothing wrong with living here on a tourist visa. If that's what you have to do, and you get happiness from living here in the Philippines, and you enjoy it, hey, go for it. Count your blessings. Be happy. Live life to the fullest. Do the right thing. Treat people well. Tell the people you love that you love them. And just drive on. Just like Castaway Drift, Michael down there in Dumagetti. Man, that dude, he enjoys walking around. And he walks around and he says hi to people. And with his Pennsylvania accent, I get a kick out of it, speaking the language down there. With that PA accent and everything. Because I spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania, so I know. And my ex-wife is from Central PA. God bless her. That moment of silence. Yeah, okay, moving on. That was a moment of silence for all the people that have ex-wives out there. And anyway, yeah, he's just enjoying himself. Burning up them shoes, wearing those shoes out. But you know what? The man is doing what he enjoys doing. And I think that's great. That's awesome. And I do quite a bit of walking myself also. I don't walk as far as he does, not by far. And I guarantee I walk slower than he does because I'm carrying more weight than he is. But anyway, let's see. David says, they said I can do a 2-year extension this time. That's awesome, man. Go for it. Bruce and Carol in the house. Hey, Bruce, Carol. Hello, Colonel. Just got in and got you on Ruco TV, watching live while doing other side stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because while I'm talking to you, I'm doing side stuff too, and I need to concentrate. I might have to take my glasses off to do this, because I got the progressive lenses and got the bifocals in them. But man, they're irritating. They're irritating. You got to hold your head just right to see everything. And I don't have this on the gimbal, so I'm kind of looking down at you. Lowell says, if I did the regular SRV like I wanted, I would run out of money quick within 10 years or less. That 15K US dollars is a big hit. It's 10,000 US dollars unless they changed it, or 20,000 US dollars unless they changed it. That's for just the straight up SRV, no other extra courtesies or anything. Now, if you do the medical one, it's less. But I guess it used to be 10. Maybe they upped it to 15. I haven't looked at the latest because I got mine already, so I haven't been paying attention. But so I can speak intelligently about these subjects, maybe I need to update myself on what's going on with that, and then I can be a little more educated with what I'm saying to you guys about it. Which, if you're going to be on YouTube and you're going to put out information, quite honestly, you do need to educate yourself on things. Make sure you're not talking a lot of, and pardon my English, but a lot of BS or telling lies about what's going on. Because I don't like that. I listen to a lot of people. There's a lot of YouTubers on here, and I'm at fault too. We start basing the information that we disseminate on our experiences only, and our experiences might have happened 2 or 3 or 5 years ago. And you know what? In this foreign country, especially in Asia, 2 years, 1 year, shoot, it might be a matter of months. Things change. based on the policy of the government. Just like in the U.S., things change too. So, having said that, I need to do a little bit better and start updating myself on all these things because my attitude is kind of like, I'm not involved in it anymore. So, um, I don't really pay attention. But if I'm going to be on YouTube and talk to y'all and have you guys and girls, ask questions to me about, I need to be a little more educated on it. And so if I say anything ever and the information I put out is incorrect, please correct me. And then I'm not going to say I'm going to agree with you, but I need to go check it out for myself because we want to be accurate, especially because we're dealing with your lives. If you're planning on coming over here, um, to the Philippines, yeah, you need to have accurate information. And for those of you who want to, yes, yeah, I do have tattoos, and thank the Lord, both my parents passed away, and I don't think they ever knew I had tattoos, and that was by design. I didn't want them to know because I knew my parents were ultra conservative, and it would have highly disappointed them for them to see me with tattoos, even though I don't have an issue with it. I have an issue with women with tattoos, but that's a whole other story, and I have reasons for that, and it's unfair to the women that have tattoos. But you know what? I am who I am, and I don't proclaim to be perfect. But it's okay. It's all. It's all okay. Let's see. Lowell says, I appreciate the comments, Lowell, because I was down at the bottom and you snuck another one in there on me. Listen, let me read it. Lowell says, Lowell Matheson over there in Oregon, and my budget is 2,000 peso for someone to help shop, clean, and cook ounces a week. Yes, they changed it in September from 10K to 15K with pension. Yeah, that's for the medical and for the not expanded. They call it SRV. There's like 4 or 5 different SRVs now, because there's an investment one also now. And folks, for those of you that don't know, the SRV is not handled by immigration. It's handled by the Philippine Retirement Authority, PRA, as they're known. Okay, in conjunction with with immigration, but they have this special dispensation where they do the SRV visa. Okay, and it does go through immigration, but the PRA handles all of it for you. And anyway, the money that you give them, because people are like, that's a lot of money, man, just to lose. But you're not losing that money. Okay, the PRA holds that money, and I call it like an escrow, but they call it something different. But they hold on to that money so that while you're living here in the Philippines, if you want to purchase a condo, or if you get in a situation where you want to purchase land or house or whatever, having said, knowing that there's requirements for that, and you just as a foreigner can't come over here and buy a house and buy land, but you can buy a condo, and you can take that money, you request it through PRA, and you can use the money that you deposited to PRA to pay for that condo or land or whatever you're buying. So there's a process you have to go through, but that's the beauty of that. So it's not like they're just holding on to your money and they're spending it. No, they're holding on to it. And if you ever decide you don't want to live in the Philippines anymore, you go through a process, you fill out the paperwork, and guess what? The PRA gives you your money back. That doesn't happen in Thailand, folks. They ain't giving any money back in Thailand. Okay? So give the Philippines some props. I think it's a great program. So if you're dumping off 20,000, 15,000, whatever it is, that money's still your money. It's just kind of sitting there in what I call like an escrow account, It's just sitting there, and you can use it or you don't use it. And if you don't use it, if you ever decide to leave the Philippines, guess what? They'll give you your money back if you request it. It takes a little bit of time in there. So if you know you're going to leave, you need to request it ahead of time before don't leave and then try to request it. It's my suggestion. So anyway, there's some good things with it. Derek, walking adds years to your life. Yeah, you know what, Derek? I used to walk every day in Thailand, and I would fast walk, or walk at a faster speed than what I walk now. I just crawl. I creep along now when I'm walking, and it is what it is. But at least I'm moving. If I sit here every day where I'm sitting right now, every day, all day long, or lay around, guess what? I gain weight real quick, and I'm tired more than I am anyway. and a lot of that's because of the sleep apnea is why I'm tired. But be as it may, I have to walk. But what was happening in Thailand, I was walking so much and at a greater speed, I started having problems with my Achilles tendons, and I had to slow down. And then I came here to the Philippines, and I injured myself on a motorbike, and that really knocked me out. That knocked down my whole workout routine and everything. I had to stop, and yeah, that hurt, and that's affected me for the rest of my life. I'm never going to get over that injury from that, unless I go in and have some major surgery, and I'm not doing that. Mainly because I don't like MRI machines. So, we need to get an MRI. I'm like, no, that's not happening. Well, you got to have one. No, I don't. Well, we need it if we're going to do the surgery. Well, we're not having the surgery then. Say whatever you want, judge me, whatever. Hey, everybody's different. That's just the way I am. The colonel, I don't like getting in that little tube. Now in the U.S., they got great MRI machines, but we haven't graduated to the big leagues yet over here in the Philippines. We're still using the old MRIs, but it's okay. Maybe someday. But I'm still not looking forward to that kind of surgery. It's a rough physical therapy afterwards and everything. I just not looking forward to that. But thanks, Derek, for that. Norm, motion is lotion. I, Norm, I just don't know how to respond to that, man. So many thoughts went through my mind. It took me back to Thailand, and anyway, that's funny, dude. Normal, these guys from Australia crack me up, man. I love it. I, Dadgummit. See, Normie, don't get me laughing, folks. I tell you, if I get something that's really funny and it hits the funny bone right, I'll laugh for 5 minutes and just can't stop. I just start laughing because just weird stuff strikes me as funny, and yeah. Which that's funny too. You notice I'm wearing my standard black color here. I used to wear black every day, and now the other day I wore my purple shirt and I got my Hawaiian shirts and whatnot, and now I got on just my little standard Hanes black T-shirt with the pocket. This is in deference to my brother. He wears these every day, man. He's telling me, yeah, I like this shirt with the pocket. And really, the reason he likes it, that's where he keeps his cigarettes. Like, dude, man, I try to get him to stop, but anyway. Lowell says, sorry, autocorrect to help me one time per week. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you said ounce. I wasn't sure what you meant. So, yeah, I guess you meant once a week. Yeah, Lowell, I mean, and really, if you were able to do it yourself, you don't even have to hire somebody to clean your house. Like, I'm doing this today to help out my friend, I'm helping her out. This gives her a little bit of income because she cleans condos and stuff anyway, and she has her son to support. So this is just helping her out. There, instead of dentures, you can get dental implants. Yeah, you can. You can get dental implants, Derek, if you're a candidate for that. Not everybody is an ideal candidate for that. In other words, they can't do that for everybody. And the other side of that is it's super expensive. Now it might be cheaper here in the Philippines, it probably is, but like in Thailand, if you went to a reputable place and they're doing the teeth implants or tooth implant, it's going to run you about $1,000 American. And so it's pricey, and you got a recovery time. And not everybody, from what I understand from talking to other people who have tried to have it done or had it done, not everybody qualifies to have the implants. But I looked at it, and really what I need for right now is I could have got by with a bridge, but I don't like having the hard bridges in my mouth. And the one dentist was like, well, I'll make a soft one for you. And I'm like, well, show me that. And she showed it to me. I'm like, hey, I like that. I said, yeah, let's do that. But not right now, but let's do it. And then guess what? I left Thailand because I was in Thailand. The dentist I went to in Thailand, 'cause I had a couple crowns. I finally went and got crowns put on. Because like I said, my teeth are really soft, and my brother has the same problem. Our teeth break, so I'd have a root canal, and then before I could get a crown put on, or it was too expensive, I didn't have it in my budget. I couldn't afford a crown, especially in the U.S. My teeth would break. Then I have to go in and just get it, take the pieces out, and they extract it, and then boom, I got another hole in my mouth. And so yeah, my dental situation is bad. It's just the way it is. But fortunately, when I'm talking and when I smile, you can't see my teeth. Just the way and it's getting. I'm noticing as I'm getting older, it's getting worse. But the other thing that's happening is because I had the large gaps, and I got them in three sides of my mouth. I got large gaps back where the molars are supposed to be, and they're not. Your teeth move around, and I've had that issue, and now it's causing my, it's causing an underbite, and my lower teeth are now hollowing out my upper teeth. So, yeah, when I lose them, and I'll have to do something about it. Bruce and Carol, awesome coffee time. Yeah, well, you know what's scary about that, Bruce? If you got me on the TV, man, that's kind of scary because that makes me bigger than life. And I'm big enough already, brother. You make me bigger than life. That's downright scary to me. But I guess you probably don't have any mice or rats in your house because if you got me up on a big screen, I'm probably scaring everything away. And that's all good. It's all good. But, yeah, that's funny. But I'm glad you're enjoying your coffee. I'm enjoying mine too. What's left though? I got a little bit in here. Excuse me while I take a sip. Might as well be iced coffee by now. It's so cold. It's been in there for a long time. I got up early this morning. Let's see. Norm says, depends on the jawbone, I think. Yeah, probably. And I think I'm probably not a candidate for the implants. But I could get a good, if they could create me a bridge where it didn't affect my speech, getting away in my tongue, because believe it or not, I know y'all gonna find this hard to believe because I talk so much, but I got a really small mouth, and that's what caused all my dental problems when I was younger. And I had, I was in braces for 6 years because they yanked out four teeth, and now I'm mad about that because they yanked out those four teeth. I have even less to begin with, and they had to close up the gaps and everything. But it's because my jawline is short, and my mouth structure area is just, it was not large enough to handle all the teeth. And thank the Lord I never got wisdom teeth. And we were talking about that last night on Rock. I was on Rockalo's channel and we were chatting. I was like, yeah, I didn't get any wisdom teeth, so I probably didn't get any wisdom either. But I remember my brother getting his yanked out and those roots being all twisted up and everything. And I was like, man, thank you, Lord, that I don't have to deal with that. But the dentist told me, because yeah, when they took a full head X-ray, they said, besides saying there's nothing there, which I'm like, thanks, Doc. He's like, now you're one of the lucky ones that, he goes, you're never going to develop wisdom teeth, so you won't ever have to deal with that. I'm like, okay, I guess that's cool. But then when my brother started having issues, I was like, that's really cool. I'm so glad I don't have to go through that. But it's all good. And Derek says, I heard Vietnam has good dental. I don't know. I don't know about that. I haven't been to Vietnam. Always wanted to go. I was in Thailand, so close to Vietnam. Always wanted to go, but I didn't want to go by myself, so I didn't go. Norm says, I'll admit I haven't seen a dentist in 40 years. You sound like me, Norm. Biggest problem were my impacted wisdom teeth, but I just put up with that pain at the time. Wow, Norm, but you're better, you got better pain threshold than I got. I don't ever go to, and this is sad, I don't ever go to the dentist unless I have to. But when the tooth pain from that I was experiencing when I had to get these root canals stuff, it was excruciating. I couldn't live. I just like, man, I can't deal with this. And then the teeth would break, and then I already went over that. It was a nightmare, pain in the butt. So finally, when I saved up some extra money, and then when I had these other ones where I had root, I had the crown put on. But then again, I'm allergic to nickel. Nickel causes big time problems, and a lot of the metal alloys have nickel in them. It's not good for you. And then I'm talking to my brother. He has the same problem with some of the metal alloys that they make the crowns out of and stuff. They're cheaper, but his mouth would reject them, and he'd have to take the crown removed and get something different. So that was something else I had to deal with. So I had my crowns. I had to have them specially made out of a special alloy that didn't have anything that was. And I told him, I said, well, we'll try it and see. Palladium or whatever. I don't remember what they put in there, but that's probably wrong. But whatever that dental metal, but they use. But I haven't had a problem with mine. They weren't rejected. My brother said his were rejected, so. I didn't want to pay for the porcelain ones or what. I told them I'm not paying all that. Break. Just for But I guess you need your teeth. So I probably should have done it. Let's see, Bruce Carroll. Yeah, I got you on 50-inch. I'm sorry. No mice, but much bigger up here in the Cascade Mountains. Well, Bruce, maybe I'm good for something. That's funny. Derek, Rock has been sick. Yeah, Rock hurt his back, or he thought it was his back, and who knows? Maybe there's excuse me, maybe there's an underlying cause. He doesn't know, but he says he's on the mend. But he's been out for several weeks, at least 2 to 3 weeks, and I touch base with him every once in a while and see how he's doing because he cracks me up. Him and Jazz, and she was basically handling the live stream last night, and he was in the background, and just nice people, folks, just really nice people. Rockalo channel. Bruce says, "Yep, haven't seen Rock and Jazz for a week already." And it's been longer than that, Bruce. But yeah, they hadn't live streamed. I want to say in 2 weeks. Could be wrong on that, but yeah, it was. I was happy to see them. They came back on and I made a few comments in there. Just those two. I can cut up with them like I can't cut up with other people and joke around, and because they got good sense of humor, they don't get offended so easily, and so I can cut up with them and maybe talk stuff with them that maybe I have to be a little more respectful with other people, but I can get away with it with Rock because he doesn't care, and I call him the youngsters, and because Rock's he's only like 40, and Jazz is, what is she now, 21, 22? I think 21. She just turned 21, I think. Check out these little tires for the Tamiya. These ones are special. They got writing on them. Yeah, however you say that. Festa One, the special. But this particular car I'm working on, not that y'all care, but I'm going to show you anyway. And it's going to be backwards in the camera, but it's the TKC Special. Yeah, it's backwards in there. I don't know why YouTube does. Why they can't just do it normal. But yeah, this is an MA chassis, and this came with all the setup. Now it's not going to be the fastest setup because it's right out of the box. Right now, all I'm doing is box builds. I'm not putting any special bearing, doing anything special. I'm just doing box builds, just for something to do. If I ever start racing against the Filipino guys and girls, well, I got to do a lot of studying. I got to pick somebody's brain. I got to figure it all out. Watch a lot of videos on YouTube or whatever. But I might just, when my track gets here, I'll race against myself. And but just for fun. It's just for fun, folks. My dream of it, if I live long, is I want to have my own place, have my own big track set up, and I want other foreigners to get into it. And we just have a good time, a fellowship, and putting these little cars together and racing against each other and seeing who can do a better job. I know there's some engineers out there that they would smoke us. If they got in these little cars, they'd figure it all out, and they'd probably smoke us every time on the track. And we'd be like, there he goes again. But I learned something, these little Tamiya cars, it ain't always having the fastest car. It's having the car with the best setup that will stay on the track. Because what I notice is a lot of these people with these super fast cars, they're super fast, but they go flying off the track. They hit something in the track, a corner or a wave or a slope, and boom, they're gone, they're off the track. Guess what? They just lost. So it's not always about the fastest speed-wise, but the fastest with the best balance and setup. And some guy just shot, he's like, yeah, he goes, it's about balance. And isn't that appropriate? Because this company comes from Japan, and that's part of their thing in Japan. It's about balance. One of my friend might be here. Yeah, that's my water pump going, that noise. But you know what? We did a lot of work on it the other day, and it doesn't run as much as it used to. And really, I only have it. Hold on one second, folks. Is that my friend? Hold on one. I saw somebody out there. It's not time for the water bill yet, so we started out the video. I was just walking around doing stuff, so we're gonna do that again. I'm gonna walk out here, see who's out here, see if it's my friend. Doesn't look like it, but it looks like somebody else just hanging out here. Or has he got a package for me?
Sir?
You got delivery for me?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting on. I should get one today, but it'll be a big one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, parcel too?
Yeah. But it's big, yeah.
Ah,
Or it should be bigger, yeah. From J JT Express,
what's Jet Express? What's
yeah.
name?
Acker, Acker. It
Ano,
arrived
can
yesterday
call Lansar? Okay.
from
Can I see the
Lazada.
text?
I can't. I'm live streaming right now.
Ah, okay.
It's it arrived in Ilo yesterday.
Ah, okay.
So
Then,
hold on, folks. I'm talking to the rider here, the little
you're
rider.
live.
Yeah, I'm live streaming.
Sige.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, it said it arrived in Ilo, so I thought maybe today. I hope today they deliver it because it's all
Yeah,
the
but I
sound
don't
deadening for that.
know what's the name. The rider name.
Oh, I have to look. I can't look right now.
Ah, okay.
Oh, I didn't have a rider yet. I just was checking. I was
Uh,
checking the
tracking.
yeah, the tracking,
Ah,
and it
okay.
just said it arrived in Ilo yesterday morning. So I figured, okay, today it should be delivered today. I hope.
Okay, what's your name, sir? Again?
Acker, Acker, Douglas,
Ah, okay.
Douglas Acker, Acker.
Ah,
But, oh, there you folks. You all heard my name now. Oh boy, I was keeping that a secret. He got that out of me. Oh my goodness. Oh well, the Colonel is who he is. And well, I really didn't want to do that. I outed myself. I didn't need Bellis to do it this time. I did it myself. That's okay. Yeah, my name's Doug. And it is what it is. But everybody calls me the Colonel. And that is what it is too. And Terry, if you're watching and you're Mr. Stolen Valor accuser, you're wrong, but oh well. That torqued me. That still torques me. I shouldn't let stuff like that bother me, but man, it bothered me when that dude, he accused me. Oh, that's a bunch of BS about my video about why I'm called the Colonel. That's BS. Where I come from, we call that stolen valor. He he made me get out of character. I wanted to reach through. Yeah, he's lucky. I'd like him to come say it to my face, and because I have a few things I'd like to say to him. But it's not appropriate to do that on here. Yeah, let's see. Rebecca Kanke, I'm probably saying your name wrong, Osan, says, hi, hello to you. Welcome to the Colonels Chronicles. I haven't seen you before, so welcome. Glad to see a new person in here. Like and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate you. Help out with the algorithm. Help out the old guy. I want to get Noah a remote control. This is from Norm. I want to get Noah a remote control car, something that won't break straight away. Well, good luck with finding something like that, Norm. But they make them out there. And I ordered this one for the kids from Lazada, and it was a eight-wheeled vehicle. I can't remember the name of it, but that's the best RC car. And I also ordered. I've ordered several since I've lived over here in Asia, and like I have a little Jeep now. I don't know where that is. Where is my Jeep? I don't know where that is. Maybe I gave it. No, I don't think I gave it away. I got an RC Jeep, but it's a little bit more on the delicate side, even though it's a Jeep. But that eight-wheel thing, that thing was tough. And that's, if I could think of it, that's what I would recommend to you. But yeah, it was that thing, and it was powerful. It was pretty cool. Pretty much go over anything, and it didn't break. I mean, the kids were out there kind of running it in and stuff. It did okay. I mean, it was plastic, but it held up. What those slot cars? No, Commander, those aren't slot cars. These are Tamiya cars, and the best thing I can tell you to do is just Google it. They hold on one second. They're motorized, okay, and they're battery powered. You know, this one's got a higher speed motor. This is the Atomic Tune 2 Pro, and they run on these little motors, little battery powered motors. And there's things you can do to make these run faster too. You condition these and break them in. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with these little cars. But no, they don't run on a slot. They run on walled tracks. So the basic track, I'll do video on it when I get it. The basic track has 3 lanes, and they have the sides. Each lane has sides, goes up about that high. And so the cars, you put them down in the track, and they. Well, hold on a second. Let me go get one. I'll show you. I just posted a couple little short videos, and but I got one here. Hold on one second. Yeah, where are we at? This one is set up a little bit more. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. There's weights and counterbalances, and there's brake pads and all kinds of stuff that you can do. But this one right here, okay? You see in the four corners, right here, like I'm using I'm doing Filipino. See right there? I'm becoming Filipino. But anyway, these cars, they have to be in the parameters. When they race these, they have test boxes. They have to fit into that box. If they don't, they're disqualified. So the track has walls, and that's what these rollers here. This car will get in that track, and if it hits the side, these rollers are supposed to, it knocks it. It keeps it in the track. These little weights that, when it goes over a jump or whatever, these weights go up and then they slide down to pull it to keep the car down. I'm not an expert on this, folks. I'm a beginner. Okay, that's why I'm only doing like box builds. But anyway, yeah. So these it fits in the track like this, like that, and they run. There's no slots. Okay, and these things are fast. They are fast. They don't when you turn it on. I don't have batteries in this, but when you turn these on and you're watching the video, like, they're not that fast. But put them in that track. You see how fast they are. But yeah, I actually like this one. This was a cool looking car. Kind of looks like a Camaro. That's called Rowdy Bull. Rowdy Bull is the name of that one. But yeah, this is probably about the fourth one I built or fifth one I built, and I haven't painted it. Didn't paint it. I think one I built I painted, but they all come with stickers, and they tell you to paint them. They tell you what paint color and stuff to use, but it's up to you. And so anyway, that's that. But no, they're not slot cars. They're track cars. Derek, do like watching NASCAR. Man, I was into NASCAR. I used to go to the races, and I've been to several NASCAR races. I had a blast going to those things, and that was actually something that my ex-wife and I, that when we were still together, it was something that she enjoyed it too. But I think it was because of all the testosterone that was there and all the men that were there. I think that's why she liked going. She definitely didn't like going because she wanted to spend time with me. Let's just be honest. Yeah, that was all about. I think she was checking out all the guys there because that's the way she was. Norm says, like the Hot Wheel tracks, but bigger, much bigger, Norm. And your Hot Wheels, they just have a little edge. These actually have a wall. And now, if you're here in the Philippines, you can go to some of the malls and stuff, and they'll have the Tamiya tracks set up. Like we were talking about that in Rojas City, they had the one. Gino and we were talking about, they had it at Robinson's. Now it's at Gaisano's, and I didn't see it at Gaisano's. I didn't go there to check it out. But you go to other places, like here in Iloilo, it's over by, what's that? Mary Mart? I don't know, that mall down in Old City, Iloilo. I can never remember. I think it's called Mary Mart or something like that. And they have a room up there that they rent out. I think Iban. IBAAN, that Ebon shop. That's they rent that out and have a track set up there for people to go in there. You go in there and you can practice or whatever, test your car out. But I decided I'm going to have my own track to test it out. Then I can do it at my own house. And what I was saying before, eventually I want to have a place where I can set up a whole track. Either a separate covered building or whatever, or separate part of the house where I can set up a track and invite people over. It's just something to do, It's just something different to do, and smile and laugh and have a good time, cut up and pick at people for being losers and winners and whatnot. But Nora says, I was eating lunch and I almost choked, Colonel. Sorry, Norm. Sorry, but not sorry. No, man, don't choke, man. Yeah, my goodness. Commander says, okay, thanks for explaining that. Cool. Yeah, this Tamiya thing, I've never heard of them. I've built Tamiya models before because the Tamiya company, they make models also. These are actually what they call the mini four-wheel drive 4WD, mini 4WD. That's what these cars are. Because Tamiya also makes RC cars. And if you get, and I looked, when I was up there in Manila several days back, and I went into the shop there, I started talking to the guy. I said, maybe I'll get into the RC cars too, because I've always been fascinated by them, and I've had a couple over the years. I got one now, but they sell the model where you can build them and stuff, and they're really cool. But, folks, they're expensive. I'm not joking. I mean, just for the model, just for the body. This is no electronics, no, like the RC controller alone is like 25,000 pesos. So it's not cheap. And then just the body on some of these, like I looked at one, it was a 18-wheeler cab. It was a tractor, 18-wheeler cab from a 18-wheeler truck in the U.S. We call them tractors, like a tractor trailer. And it was just it was plastic, polycarbonate or whatever. And you got to paint it and do everything. And I mean, it was like 45,000 pesos, 50,000 pesos. And there was a tank up in it. I mean, how much is that tank? Because I was in the military, fascinated by military vehicles and stuff. And he's like, yeah, that's what was that, 120,000? I'm like, get out of your freaking mind. Ain't no way. I'm not paying that much for a model. But they had like a little Toyota Supra, a little sedan car down on that they were working on. And I tell you what, the way you paint the paint job, I was like, man, that's fantastic. That's beautiful. And the paint was perfect. And I'm like, there's no runs. And I'm like, was that just spray? And the guy's like, yeah, just spray paint. I'm like, man, who did that? And he showed me the young fellow, because he painted that one. I was like, man, that's really good. Well, little secret. I didn't know this. This is why it's important to talk to people, ask questions and stuff, because you'd be surprised. And for me, I'm surprised at how much I don't know. And I love to be learning new stuff all the time, but I have to stay humble. And you got to be humble to allow yourself to learn. If you walk around like you know it all, like I walk around sometimes acting like I know it all, even though I know I don't, folks. But sometimes I'm a type A personality, so it comes across the wrong way sometimes. And anyway, I found out. He showed me this other one they were getting ready to paint, and he used his fingernail, picked up the edge of the plastic or whatever. Well, there's a plastic film that goes covered, that the whole outside is molded in this real thin, like cellophane, like plastic, like saran wrap type plastic, only a little bit thicker. And then they explain, you paint the inside of the shell before you cut it out. You paint the inside with whatever colors you're going to do. Because he was talking about, I painted three coats. It was black, this, that. And I'm like, yeah, well, no clear coat? This is how it started. It goes, so no clear coat? Because this thing was shiny. I mean, it was phenomenal. Smooth. Looked like it had been buffed out. It was nice. And he's looking at it and said, so no clear coat? He goes, no clear coat. And then he went down. That's when he scratched and he showed me. So what you do is you paint the inside. I didn't know this. That's what I'm saying. I learned this. You paint the inside, whatever you're going to paint. And then when you're done, you peel that plastic cover off the outside, and it reveals the shiny, clear plastic, and it looks like a thick, clear coat of paint. I was like, that's slick. How come couldn't figure that out on my own? I didn't know that. But man, it makes these beautiful RC cars. I'd hate to wreck them. And scratch. Because once you scratch up that surface, then you're done. And you got to figure out how to buff that out one up. But the paint is all underneath on the inside. I thought, man, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. That's not true, not the coolest thing. But at the time, I thought that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was like, that's cool. I should just say not the coolest thing I've ever seen, but it was cool. And I don't know what the coolest thing I've ever seen was. I will say this, seeing Niagara Falls is something to see, folks. Have you ever seen Niagara Falls? That's one of those, impactful things. Now, this isn't cool, but another thing that was impactful to me was going to Dachau in Germany, in the concentration camp. I'll never forget that. The Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., never forget that. Now those aren't cool, but it's life changing, and you never forget some of that stuff. But anyway, back to the cars. But now I learned something. I thought, I can do that now. I can paint the inside. You know, as long as I peel that plastic off and it's shiny, looks like I clear coated that perfectly. Because there's no runs, drips, or anything. And I'm like, wow, okay. Um, Let me get back to the chat here. Okay, Norm says, I always wanted to get into the remote control planes, thinking about drones, so maybe an FPV drone when I get there. Now, I've always been fascinated by the RC airplanes too. Now, my brother had a wire driven plane by wire. It was one of those ones. Remember when we were little kids, and you held it in your hand, and you turned it on, and then you spin it around. You know, you have to spin around with it. And he had one of those. I had a car, but I always thought the airplanes were cool. So as an adult, when I was living in Georgia, I got an airplane that was an RC airplane. Now it wasn't one I had to build, so it was just like styrofoam, and you put it together. And well, I'm not a pilot, okay, and that airplane ended up in a tree where I couldn't reach it, and I had to wait several months for it to come out of that tree. That was way up there. And actually, the final one was my friend flew it up into the tree. But I'd gotten it up in the tree and gotten it down, but then he flew, and yeah, it went way up in this tree. We couldn't get it. But several months later, guess what? It came out of the tree. I found it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I look at them now, and I've been fascinated by these videos on YouTube. These people with these huge remote control planes. They almost look like the real deal, real airplane. And I saw one the other day. It was a jetliner, passenger, and it was huge. And they showed it taking off, and then they had the military. It wasn't a C-17. Which one was it? I don't even know. It wasn't a C-130 either. Maybe it was the C-17 model, RC. Those are the coolest things. They're taking off. It looks like the real deal. You're like, whoa. And then they have the jets. I just saw a video the other day, a guy with the F-18, and he was holding it. And that's cool. I'm not coordinated enough. That's why this drone thing is going to be interesting. If I ever get a chance to get out and use that drone that I got, but I need to go up there with James and Karen. I want them to help me first. I need to learn it and sit down. I'm on like information overload. I got so much stuff that I have to learn and do, and just like this fellow talking to me about editing and stuff, there's just so much I have to learn. Got to stop being lazy. Bruce and Carol. But good luck with that, Norm. I think it's cool. I think the airplanes are cool. But the other problem I have is my eyesight's not that great. So if the airplane gets way up, I lose sight of it. And then we got a problem. That's why the drone with the return feature is kind of nice. Because I'll lose sight of the drone. Bruce Carroll. All right, Colonel. Got to go for now. All right, Bruce. Need to tend the chicken before it turns dark. Thank you. Remember to put on the armor of God. And God bless you, my brother. Appreciate that, Bruce. Absolutely, folks. So, if you're the praying type, always pray for the Colonel. Always pray for him. I appreciate it. And if you're not, then don't. That's up to you. I wish you the best. Norm says, yeah, had one of those planes with the little, the little glow fuel engine. Okay, now, my brother had one of those too. He had the trainer, that little blue and yellow trainer. I don't know if you remember those back in the day. And where you sit there and you're like, blip, 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 until and you go, blip, blip, and it's real loud. Yeah, he had one of those with the little glow plug and whatnot, glow fuel in. My brother crashed it and destroyed it. Now, that's a bummer. Now, there was this missionary in Germany, called him Uncle Bill. Bill and Ruth. What was the last name? Bill and Ruth Meyer? No, it doesn't matter. But Uncle Bill, he had a heart attack, and the doctors told him that, okay, you need to slow down a little bit. You need to get you a hobby that's a little more sedentary and just something to do and keep your stress level down and whatnot after this heart attack. So he got into the RC planes, and he was flying. He was doing bigger ones, not the super big ones they're having now, but these were good size RC planes, and they have the bigger motors, and these are the same type of motors, like the glow fuel engines, same type of engine. But this guy, he had a starter, so it's just a little motor that spun,
and you just take that up to the nose cone and bzzz, and it would spin that sucker, and it was like automatic start. I thought, man, that's so cool. My brother and I could have used that for his back in the day, but he would have had this, it was a smaller plane. It had to be in a smaller one. It was just a little motor that spun the prop. And I thought, man, that's the ticket right there. Because he wasn't going to sit there with his finger and go, remember you went, I can't do the sound, but it was like, and and it would start. Made me think of the people with the first cars, where they had to turn that thing, crank up the motor on the cars to start it up, the engine. I call them motors. I said motor the other day. The guy said, motor? Oh, you mean the engine? Okay, whatever, man. You know what I meant. But I'm like that too. I pick at people. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys being here, man. 16 likes, only 6 people hanging out still. But that's all good. It's cool. Some of this stuff, I'm a grown man. I'm 61. I'm talking about toys, toy cars and this when I should, little toys. How many men my age, that are still playing with toys? But hey, everybody's different. I like to have fun, and the Lord's blessed me, gives me the ability to be able to do it. So I do it. It's all good. The FPV. This is from Norm. The FPV drones have the 3D headset that you wear. Yeah, I've seen that DJI. That would bother me because of the glasses and stuff. I think it would just bother me, and I like to be able to see, But each to their own. I guess the people that have, maybe they like them. I don't know. But get one, try it out, and let me know, Norm. See how you feel about it. For me, it might make me motion sick. I don't know, but yeah, I'm curious about that. I look at them, and then I thought, no, because I've tried some of that stuff with the 3D or the Ford, in the arcades. I don't like it. I rode that one ride up there. Was it Harry Potter and Universal? I don't know. That stuff makes me motion sick. I didn't like it. But it's technology. Some people like it. Some people don't. We're all different. Derek said, "Remember the airplane made from styrofoam? You wound it with a rubber band. Yeah, I used to wind them suckers. I used to wind them up to remind me that rubber band be all twisted and knotted up and twisted some more, and I'd double and triple wound. Yeah, I remember those things. Yeah, those were the days. I think you can still get those. I think if you're in the right place, you can still get those things. And he said, you look at it, and that thing flies around, and then it stops, and then it just glides down. Yeah, I used to love flying and not just the styrofoam ones. Remember the little balsa wood airplanes that they used to get? And no property. They used to put them in your. There's a little story. I was in Estes Park, Colorado. I was at the General Walker Hotel, which has now been turned back over to the German government, but it used to be a recreational area for the U.S. Army, for the U.S. over, not just Army, I guess all military. Actually, General Walker, I think it was Army, but we used to go there for conferences because my dad was a chaplain, and they'd have chaplains conferences there. But anyway, it was up in that you're in the Alps, you're in the Bavarian Alps in the mountain. And one thing I remember, you walked over, there's a little wall, but it was like real far down to the next level. I used to fly it off there. Those little balsa airplanes, man, they'd go forever. And we had a blast with those things, my brother and I. The stuff we did to entertain ourselves, man. Because you know what? We didn't have a cell phone, and we weren't, or a video game, So we played with little styrofoam or balsa wood airplanes and whatnot, or paper airplanes for that matter. Because we did some paper airplanes off that wall too. Let's see. Norm says mine had a spring that grabbed the prop. Oh, really? As you wound it backwards and then let go, the spring started it. Really? Now you must have been a rich kid, Norm. We didn't have anything like that, man. We had to use our finger to hold it. You were one of the rich kids with the fancy wind-up airplane, rubber band airplane. You must have had that expensive rubber band too, the good rubber. I'm just messing with you, man. The headset has the adjustments so you don't need your glasses. Yeah, and then I don't know, Nora. I still think I'm kind of getting sick to my stomach thinking about that because I get, my equilibrium gets messed up and I get motion sickness real easy. Now, that's why I don't go the boats. I get seasick. That's why I'm not real crazy about. And I've gone on the row. I went from here to Gimaris and whatnot. I'll do it, but and I went over to Boracay, but it's real short rides. But like what James and Karen are doing now, and shoot, by now they're probably to the other side of Cebu and getting on another boat to Palumpan over there to Leyte. But yeah, I don't know if the boat if it keeps going and it's not rocking too much, I'm okay. But I get motion sick real easy, and it's gotten worse. You hear that stinking cat? Oh my goodness, one of the cats must be in heat. Here we go again, or they're fighting. Who knows? Let's see, Norm, with the fancy airplane. I had the Gear VR years ago for 3D virtual reality. Missed those days. There you go. So you're used to it. Derek says, do you remember folding the paper into a triangle playing? Absolutely, man. I was the table football king. Man, I loved that game. Playing the table football in school. Absolutely, man. The little triangle, and you push it off the edge and it slides over, and then you flick it with your finger and it spins around, and you're trying to get over the goal line, which was the edge of the table. I remember that. I did that at lunchtime in the cafeteria at school. That's what we used to do. And I tell that story. That's my brother's claim to fame in high school. We used to play you ever play the coin basketball, the penny basketball or whatever, and spin the penny around, and you catch it with your thumb, and then the guy makes the little bat, and you flick the coin over, and you try to get into the basket. Yeah, I always tell that story. My brother did that one time, and he flicked that penny a little bit too hard, and he hit a black guy a few tables over, and that ended up in a fight outside the cafeteria, and it ended up with that black kid got knocked out by my brother when he mashed his head up against the wall, and then my parents got involved, and my brother thought he was getting a vacation from school, but my parents were like, nah, you're not expelling him or suspending from school. Nah, you're not giving him a free vacation. That's what he wants, because this boy hates school. I'm like, man, leave him alone, man. But yeah, I played all them games, and I loved it. How about here's one from the old days. Anybody ever do any pencil fighting? You remember pencil fighting? The pencil and flick it down. Anybody remember that? You sit here, pencil, and boom, down on the other. They hold the pencil like this, and you slap your pencil down, and you're trying to break the other person's pencil. Oh yeah, my mom didn't like that. She did not like that at all. She said that we're wasting money. That's my mom. And then they came out with the redwood pencils that they bend, they're flexible, and they'd be holding them, and they'd bend the pencil up so you couldn't break it. I hated them suckers when they did that. I was never that good at it. Some people, man, they'd bring that up, pop, first hit on your pencil clink. You're like, how'd you do that, man? But anyway, yeah, VR can give you motion sickness. Yeah, it does me. They put in a school suspension. Really? For doing the football or the pencil fighting? I don't know. And then there were the jokers that would take their pencil, they'd bite the eraser out of it, and then they'd bite down on a little metal piece that held the eraser, and they'd make it at a point, so they would use it when they didn't hit your pencil right on, they just hit the edge, and they would chew away at it to take some of the wood away so it would break easier. Jokers. And then we had the little idiots in school. Remember, they used to take the eraser, and they would, I think they called it a cootie mark or whatever. They would rub it. They did it on their hands. They'd rub it here till they take a layer of skin off, and then they let it heal up, and then they had this scar, cootie mark or whatever. And then the guys were like, yeah, we did some stupid stuff when we were in school, didn't we? We did some really stupid stuff. I don't know what they do in that one now. They're just trying to stay alive now and not get killed by somebody, I guess, but in the U.S. anyway. But yeah, it's crazy stuff we used to. Now, I never dipped a girl's hair in the inkwell. Okay, the Colonel's not that old now. However, when I went to school in Brooklyn, New York, at PS 104, we did have the old desks that had the inkwell in them. No ink, of course, but the hole was there for the inkwell. And I'm like, holy smokes, how old are these desks? I'm like, holy smokes. But yeah, it's pretty funny. And then remember the old style desks? They flipped up, and you could keep your books inside. Remember those days? I remember them too. Let's see. Norm says, can't say we did that at school here in Australia, at least at my school. Yeah, the pencil fight. Derek said the pencil fight. Oh, they started suspending people for pencil fighting. I don't know why. The only people to get mad would probably be the parents. Maybe some of the kids got their pencil broken, but hey, they were doing it. They know that, it's no different than when we were a little kid playing marbles. And when you're knocking the marble in a circle, you get to keep the marble. Oh, my mom was, she was hot about that too. She's like, that's gambling. Yeah, my boys aren't gambling. We're not gambling. We're Christian. We don't gamble. Blah blah blah. And that you stop doing that. And she's like, I didn't buy you any marbles for you to. My parents were something else. But yeah, I remember because you didn't play with your real good marbles. Come on, I'm live streaming. Oh, let me open the door. Oh, folks, my friend's here to help me out. So how long I've been on here? Hour and 20. I guess I could finish up. Come on in, Rissy, Mason. Don't worry, you're not on the camera unless you want to be. I'll make you famous. She's already famous. She's been on one of my other videos. And you know what we should, you're not ready, but we should sit down and we should do the update on your situation. So this is the young lady I did the video on about her situation with her son and whatnot. And we need to do an update video on that. And yeah, see, there goes I thought we fixed this pump, the water pump thing, but it's not fixed. I don't know how many minutes in between that running like that, but it's not totally fixed yet. Let's see. Norm says, I was going to say we had lift up desks with the inkwell holes. Yeah, see, I beat you to it. Hey, Happa. Happa says, Colonel, what's the noise in the background? Oh, Happa, that's this water pump. It's a little bit better than what it was because we did some work on it, but it's still, I still unplug it. At least now when I unplug it, I have a valve, I shut the valve and I unplug it. At least now when I plug it back in, I don't have to go out and prime it. So it's a little bit better than it was. Yeah, sorry for that noise, brother. Were you a sweat hog at Walt Whitman High? And I'm not even going to go there, Derek. Not even going to go there, man. But I was probably a nerd. I don't know. Although back in the day, I did have the Brady Bunch hairstyle, through much crying and arguing with mom about that and them accusing me of being on drugs and everything because I had my hair parted in the middle. And oh my goodness. We always had the hair parted on the side. That's the way they made us have our hairstyle till we started paying for our own haircuts. And see, we had to get a haircut every 2 weeks whether we needed it or not. And I thought, you know what? If I'm paying for these haircuts with money that I'm making from the job, I'm going to get hold on, I've got a reflection right on my glasses here. I'm going to get the haircut hey Mason, I'm going to get the haircut that I want. And so I started doing that. I started it's funny, I would go to the barber shop so that I could get my hair to grow longer. But we had this really cool barber outside the Army base. And he's like, well, I can cut it. He goes, and we can make it because you just flick it behind your ear because your parents won't know that it's longer. So that's what we did. And finally one day I flicked it out. And then I started parting it in the middle. Oh, my mom. Oh, she hated that. We had a big family meeting and whatnot. It was brutal. It was brutal. But hey, my mom finally threw tears. Oh, you do whatever you want then. It's just like, it's just hair, Mom. And it doesn't mean I'm on drugs. Now, we won't even go there, but it doesn't mean I wasn't hanging out with the druggies because I was. I was hanging out with the potheads. But I wasn't one of them, even though they called me. They had a nickname for me back then. And but it wasn't warranted because I wasn't doing what everybody thought I was doing. I was just hanging out, and I dressed the part. Remember in the U.S., you wore the hoodie, and then you had the Levi jacket over top of the hoodie. You were one of the burnouts. You were one of the potheads, and I wasn't really a pothead, but I had a lot of friends at work. And I'm glad I got out of it when I did. They put a narc in their high school the year after I graduated and arrested a lot of people that I knew. So I'm glad I got out when I did. I was in Bible college at the time, believe it or not. It straightened me out. Happa says, gotcha. Okay, yeah, Happa. Are you going to Leyte anytime soon? Nah, I don't have any plans to going over to Leyte or Happa. and I'm not dating that young lady anymore anyway over there. But James and Karen are on their way there with Bellis now. I wasn't invited, so I don't go where I'm not invited, and so I joke now about it because I'm not part of the circle anymore. It's just Bellis and James and Karen, and I think he mentioned somebody else in the circle a couple weeks ago, but he didn't mention the Colonel anymore. But Bellis and I are still brothers. We're still good. It's all good. But no, I'm not going over there anytime soon. Don't have any plans to anyway. Not really any reason for me to go over there. I'm not. I'm not trying to be part of Bellis's business. Don't really even care about it, to be honest with you. I just offer him information, and I offer him to help with my horticultural experience and knowledge that I have. I always offer him ways to, hey, maybe you can improve on this, maybe you can try this, and he mentioned that in one of the videos too, that about his polls that he was making, and I gave him a couple suggestions on them. It's up to him. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not trying to get involved in that business or what he's growing. Lowell said, I had to ask for a haircut. If it were up to my mom, I would have hair down to my bottom. Oh, my goodness. Not in my family, Lowell. You would have fit right into my house. My dad was Army, so it was every 2 weeks whether we needed a haircut or not. We got one. I hated it. but when I got older, in high school, and we had to pick, my mom, dad, they decided we would pay for our own haircuts because they wanted to teach us responsibility. Well, I'm like, well, I'm going to get, and I told Mom, if I got to pay for it, I'm getting the haircut I want. Because they still wanted us to get the same type of haircut. I said, no, I'm not getting that nerdy haircut. And anyway, Hap says, what's the next move, or what would you like to do next? Hap, I'm just chilling out, just hanging out here, and I decided to start dating a girl that I was dating before, but that didn't work out either, and I'm all good, And my friend here that's cleaning my house for me right now, she won't date me. She just absolutely refused. She said something about I'm too ugly or something. So she tried not to laugh at me because that's not at all. But no, we're just friends, and that's not going to happen. I'm not going to say I didn't try, because I am the Colonel, and I can't believe she's laughing but being real quiet, being real silent. She's just over there with a crap-eating grin on her face, But we have a totally a platonic friendship relationship, and she's the one who helped me find this dumpy house that I'm in, and I'm hoping she finds me a better one soon. But what time? Yeah, I need to get off here soon. Been almost an hour and a half. I like to go for 2 hours, folks, but I'm not going to do it because I got to talk to Rissy here, and I got to help her move some stuff around because I want a good house cleaning this time, much better than what I do, and she can do it for me because I'm too lazy. But Happa, thanks for checking, man. I'm good. I'm really good. There's a girl in the house now. Yeah, it's not a girl. She's a grown woman. Her son's here with her, and she's cleaning my house for me. No, she's not into me, man. It ain't like that. He's still Happa. Happa's not like that, man. She's just a friend. She won't allow that, man. She's not like that. She's not interested in me at all. I think what it is, really, I'm not tall enough. That's what it is. I'm definitely not handsome enough for her. But it's okay, man. It's okay. I'm good. I got options. This is the Philippines. We all have options. All right, folks. Well, I sure like to get hours, but hour and 28 minutes, 28 and a half minutes. I'm going to get off here because I got to help her. I got to move some stuff around because I want her to sweep behind. And yeah, and talk to her about a couple things and clean up a little bit. But anyway, folks, I appreciate you joining me. That was a quick hour and a half. I didn't expect it to go that fast. Thank you all for all the thumbs up. Still 5 people hanging out with me. If you think about it, and I should have said this at the beginning, but I don't like to promote, myself, promote the channel too much. But I'm still needing watch hours. Still need a lot of watch hours. So if y'all can help me out with that, watch some of my videos, or at least play some of my videos. I'm not going to tell you to watch them. Play some of the videos for it. Help me out with the watch hours so I can get over that hump, because I just tired of thinking about it. Tired of, I don't need it, but I'm competitive and I want to do it. I want to complete something in getting to that point on the channel. I feel like I've reached a milestone and I've completed something, and I'm not there yet, but I need to get there. And I appreciate everyone that helps me out. I picked up like 21 hours the other day, 29 hours the day before. So that's good. It's getting better, and I appreciate that. Because I know that my content's not the greatest, and I know that my videos aren't the greatest. But as time goes on and I get less lazy, I hope, we usually get more lazy, it'll get better. And you're funny though, Happa, but it's not like that, brother. That's funny. See you, mate. Take care. Bye, everyone, from Norm. Commander, later. Take care. Yeah, just call me the Colonel. Just call me the Colonel, Commander. I don't go by Doug on here. I appreciate that. Okay, playlist back on tonight. Thanks, Norm. Appreciate that. Norm, you're probably the main one who's giving me all the hours, man. I appreciate that. All right, folks. I'm going to sign off for now. God bless. Everybody take care. And stay safe. Tell the people that you love them. Because you don't know when it's going to be your last time to say that. All right. Colonel's out.